Hello everyone, welcome to class today. My name is Ellen McKay and I'm here with Yoga for Caregivers. Today's class is going to be all about hips, legs, and feet. So let's get started. You're more than welcome to practice in a chair today. Everything I do will be accessible from a chair, and I'll always give you some extra options if necessary. We're going to have about a 20-minute class today. No real props needed. You can always grab a blanket to sit on if that feels better for your hips and legs. So let's find a seated position, whatever that is for you, whether that's seated in a chair or on a mat, or maybe you've got that handy blanket or towel to sit on to lift those hips up and give yourself a little more freedom and space in that hip and pelvic region. So we'll start here just by adding in some breath. Little bit of mindfulness to get us started. So if you choose, close the eyes. Let's take a couple sighing breaths. And feel free to shift and move the body a little bit, making sure you actually feel comfortable where you are. It's definitely not about looking like I look. It's about finding your own comfort, your own space of relaxation. As you begin to notice the rhythm of your breath, maybe soften the muscles around the eyes and the jaw. Notice if the palms of the hands can be soft. And taking about 5 more settling breaths. Using those tools from our mindfulness challenge. Becoming aware of breath and body. Nice. If the eyes are closed, slowly begin to blink the eyes back open. And we'll start with just a little bit of the movement in the upper body. I know we're going to work mostly on the lower body, but I want to kind of hit everything anyway. So let's take those shoulders up and back a few times. Let's get a little movement in through shoulders, neck. Good. One more time, up and back. On the inhale, hands can rise. Exhale, maybe those palms come to meet and bring the hands down into prayer. Good. Let's spread those arms open. And bring those hands back together. Maybe a little push. Good. Spread them open. And a little bit of a push. Good. One more time. Spread them open. And a little bit of a push. Good. Sweep it out and up. Let's keep those arms lifted for the moment. So they don't have to be up and overhead. They can be if that feels okay for shoulders. Maybe wider feels better. Spread it out. Take up that space. Lift up the spine. Feel that length in the spine, the strength in those back muscles. Reach, reach, reach. Good. We're going to do a gentle twist. Take that right hand down to the side. Left hand comes to the front. Lift tall and twist. Keep the breath steady. Very good. Good. Let's take those arms up again. Get as tall as you can. Spread those arms out. Feel like you're taking up all that space. Good. Let's twist to the left. Left hand down. Right hand to that right leg. Lift up and breathe. Finding your twisting. Very nice. Bring those arms back up and out. And reach, 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 whichever direction feels good for you. Take up that space. Take it up, take it up. Good. And gently release. Let's take the legs a little bit wider. So if you are seated in a chair, bring your feet a little bit wider. If you're on the mat, take the legs out wide. So they don't have to be super wide, kind of somewhere in the middle. You don't want it to feel too strenuous here to bring those legs out. And we're kind of still just getting started with this movement. So if this feels like a lot for you, I would take a blanket or something to kind of lift up your bottom a little bit. And that might give you some more freedom here for hip and legs, especially if these hamstrings, the backs of the legs feel a bit more tight. So we're just going to start with a little bit of a rock. Not a lot of movement. Same option if you're in a chair, just a little bit of a rock, back and forth. Good. You got it. And then let's turn a little bit towards the right, and we're going to do the same thing here. A little bit of rock forward and back. Hands can be on the thigh. Hands can be on either side of the leg, kind of whatever works. So what we're doing is just kind of hinting at these muscles that, hey, we're going to move you. We might stretch you a little bit, but we're going to be very nice about it. All right, good. Bring it back to center, and let's switch to the other side. Again, little bitty rocks. They don't have to be just like mine. Feel free to do what you need. This is all about you and your body. Good. Couple more rocks. One side might feel a little bit tighter than the other. That's very normal. Good. One more time. Nice. Legs can stay wide if that feels nice for you. If it feels better to cross those legs again, go ahead. Again, we're going to just do some side movement. So movement for the side body, for the back and the torso. Take that right hand down, reach the left arm over, and then switch it. We're just going to do some reaches, up and over. Good. Reach, reach. You can definitely go at your own pace. Warming up shoulder, side of the body. Good. And then let's take it a little bit out wider. Kind of push away. Push away. Good. Keep it going. Push. Push. Adding a bit of twisting into this side stretch. Good. One more push each side. Push. Push. Bring it back to center. Roll the shoulders up and back. Good. If you're in your chair, kind of scoot to the edge a little bit of that chair and bring your feet wider. For us here, we're going to take the hands behind you, and you can turn those hands in whatever direction feels best for your wrists and fingers. I'm going to turn a little bit to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm leaning back, weight is on my hands. Feet are a little wider than hip distance, and I'm going to start with a bit of a rock. So if you're in your chair, just rock those knees side to side. We're going to get a little bit more into this outer hip space. Sometimes that area can feel a bit tight or a bit restricted. So we're just going to slowly ease in to that movement. Good. We'll do another side to side, one more round. Nice job. Bring it back to center. Let's come into a tabletop shape. If you are in your chair, you can come to standing and put the palms onto the seat of the chair. Legs are going to be straight, feet on the floor. Let's take those hips side to side. So again, we're going to get into that outer hip space, glute area. Sometimes that area can feel a bit tight. Good. If this bothers the wrist, you can always make fists with your hands. That can sometimes feel better. If you happen to have a set of dumbbells or something like that, you can always use that too if that doesn't feel right for making fists. Let's take one leg back, take a nice big stretch. So tuck those toes under. Press through the heel. Find that stretch into the calf and the bottom of the foot. Good. Nice. Bring that leg back. Let's take the weight off the hands and reach those hips back towards the heels. So if you're standing with your hands on the chair, just lean those hips back. Maybe the head is heavy. Good. Let's come back to that tabletop shape, back to that upright position. Take your other foot back, tuck the toe under, press through the heel. Breathe, breathe. Doing great. 2 more breaths to go. Nice. Release. Let's do another child's pose, or reach those hips back if you're standing with the palms on the chair. Nice big stretch for the back. Good. Maybe you stay right here in this child's pose, or if you want, tuck the toes, find your way into downward facing dog. Maybe even one heel presses down and then the other, finding some more stretch for that back body. Great. And then however you want to, we're all going to come to standing. So take as much time as you need. Use as much support as you need, maybe using the chair, hands on the thighs, whatever you need to do to find your way upright. Great. And if you want to stay in the chair, you're more than welcome to. Okay, let's connect to those legs. So feel the feet connect down to the floor. Whether you're seated in a chair or standing, feel that sensation of the soles of the feet pressing downward. Hands can be out to the sides. Good. We're going to find a little balance. So I'm going to use my wall here to give me some support. If you've got that chair nearby, feel free to grab it. Take your weight over to the right foot, take the left toes, and turn that knee outward. So we're getting a little bit of hip opening, finding some balance and strength through that standing leg. Left foot can stay right here where it is. Or if you want to add some more, you can maybe slide that foot up towards the calf. Good. If you want to play around with your balance and you feel steady, maybe you take the fingertips to the wall or the chair, or maybe you even try to take both hands off. Spreading those arms out wider can help with balance sometimes. Very nice. Release. Switch it out. Take that left foot down. Find that stable, steady position. Take the right toes to the mat and turn the knee out to the side. Remember that breath. Good. In and out. If you choose to change that shape up a little bit, go for it. Find what works on this side. Wherever you are, try to remember to breathe. In and out, in and out. Good. One more breath wherever you are. Nice. Release and shake it out. So let's do another stretch here for the backs of the legs. Especially if you're seated a lot, the backs of the legs can be a bit tight. So let's focus on those hamstrings. We're going to come to the wall, and you can always use the chair as well, but I'm just going to use the wall for now. So I'm going to take a little bit of a step back. I'm going to bring one foot close to the wall and one foot farther away, and then lean my hips back. So I'm trying to find that stretch through this front leg. You might even feel a stretch through that back calf. That kind of depends on how your body feels today. Good. You can also take the hands to the thigh if that feels better. Good. Bend that front leg. Come back up. Let's switch it out. Take that other foot forward. Again, use some support for balance. If that feels better, you can also take the hands to the legs, lift up tall, send those hips back. Keep a little tiny bend in that front knee. Sometimes we have a tendency to kind of push that knee back and lock it, but we want to keep a little bit of a bend, keeping that knee nice and healthy. Good. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Nice. Bend that front knee. Slowly come back up to stand. Great. Come back to center. Take those feet wide. Let's turn the toes out a little bit. Again, find something here for balance if you choose. And we're just going to bend the knees. We're going to do little bend and straighten. So bend and straighten. Starting to warm up through these hips. You can really take the bend as far as you want. It's all up to you. Good. If you want to add a little more challenge for balance, you can take those arms out to the sides. Good. Let's do one more. Great. Keep those knees bent. Hands come to the thighs. Let's drop the shoulder down. Good. If you're in a chair, feet are wide, dropping that shoulder down. Bring it back to center. Let's switch. Very nice. So we get a little inner thigh stretch, a little shoulder stretch. All that good stuff here. Back to center, all the way up. Good. We're going to keep those feet wide. Turn the toes forward. If you're standing, hands to the hips, lift up tall. Exhale, fold it down. Hands can come down to thighs, shins, maybe even the floor. If it's okay for you, let the head be heavy. Maybe even give it a little bit of a shake. Soften the muscles in the face. One more breath. Give the knees a bend. Hands come to the thighs. Press into the heels and the hands. Rise up nice and slow. Roll the shoulders up and back. Great. Slowly walk those feet back together if you're standing, and we're going to come down onto the mat. So again, you can stay in the chair if you prefer. If coming down to the mat is okay for you, you can join me here. I'm going to turn a little bit in this direction so you can see what my legs are doing. So we're going to start out by taking one ankle and bringing it to the thigh. It doesn't matter which one, we're going to do both. So I'm going to start out with this left leg. So left ankle comes to my right thigh. And if you're seated in a chair, you're going to make the same shape, just seated. So try to bring the ankle to the left thigh, to the right thigh, and we'll make the same shape together. Kind of making a little triangle here with the legs. So we'll just pause here. Maybe you take a little bitty rock side to side. Now, if you're seated, you can start to bend forward like you're trying to bring your belly towards your thighs. Since I'm on the mat here, I'm going to take my legs. I'm going to take my left hand, bring it in between my legs, and that opposite hand wraps around the back of the leg, and I'm going to hug it in towards me. And again, you can continue with that little bit of a rock if it feels good. This is a great stretch if you have issues with sciatica or that pain kind of coming from the back and moving down the leg. Let's slowly switch it out. So we're just going to change. Take that opposite ankle onto the thigh. Find your shape. And this might be a really good stretch just staying right here. If you want to hug the legs in, you can. We're going to take about 5 more breaths wherever you are. Nice even breaths. Let's take 2 more. Very nice. From here, release. And get settled in for your relaxation. So maybe that means you stay on the mat here. Legs can be bent. You can also straighten the legs out onto the floor. If you're in your chair, maybe you lean back onto the back of the chair. Eyes may close if you choose. And we'll bring that awareness back to the breath. Noticing sensations in the body without judgment. Thanking ourselves for taking time out for our body and our breath. Just enjoying this moment of stillness, this moment of pause. Anytime the mind wanders, just allow yourself to come back to the breath again, back to the body. Staying here as long as you'd like. taking all the time you need. Thank you so much for joining me today.